Hello and welcome back to the Hill and Valley YouTube channel. Today we're going to be making a video about how to make a brand story video. Brand story videos are very common and they're probably one of the most frequently requested types of videos for us to make. They usually consist of a company, what the company does, who they are, and maybe why they do that, as well as some of the services or products they provide. For this video, we're actually going to be partnering with a local business. It's a friend of ours named Omar who started his business Red, White, and Brew.
And the reason we wanted to go with a company like Red, White, and Brew is that a lot of the other brand story videos that we've done have been for more corporate or business-to-business clients. And this time around, we wanted to try making a video that had a little bit more flexibility to create something more artistic and creative. So let's take a look at some behind the scenes of how we went about creating this brand story video for Red, White, and Brew.
He's down with pretty much all of the general ideas I pitched to him so far about just making a brand story. It's basically just going to communicate to your customers or potential customers what the company's about, the ethos behind the brand, what made you want to start the business. Maybe we should find some examples of what we want this brand story to look like. We found this reference, which is a commercial, but we really like the way that this looks and the feeling they're able to get after. And then I also really like how they filmed their interview. Like I would do something similar with you, hopefully, with the bar in the background looks really nice. So I could see Omar maybe not leaning up against the bar, but with the bar in the background, because that's such a important element. That sound like a good plan?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Awesome. So we kind of have to come up with some good story points and questions we want to ask him for the interview portion. We came up with some talking points to start, but that's something we want to consult with you on because you know a lot more about the business than we do. So I've already come up with a few questions, the first question I have for you is, what made you want to start Red, White, and Brew?
Yeah, I mean and actually quite a few of these questions, they're really easy to answer for me because I know exactly at what point. And in my head right now, I'm tailoring it to, something that'll be kind of sort of professional for camera.
So for the interview, we can dial in the lighting for that, which could maybe be a little bit more dramatic and...
I think for lighting, we could just put some of the black material behind the cameras a little bit because I like the shape already. I just don't think there's enough contrast.
So we'd be using the Windows key?
Pretty much.
I think some more contrast from this side would be good. Like you said, I can try hanging it behind cameras. I'm picturing the interview being kind of dark in the background so that we can use some of those practicals as out of focus framing elements.
For sure. Then maybe we just tape some diffusion over this window. Do we have gap tape?
Yeah.
We can do I see one day of the interview. Once we shoot that, I think that'll give us a good idea of what we need to do for the B-roll days.
Which focal length do you want in the main camera?
I was thinking 28. That's so silly.
Yeah.
We should look at camera real quick.
For the interview, we'll just be lighting for these two specific angles that probably aren't going to be moving at all. I'm assuming we're planning on putting both cameras on tripods for this, right?
Yeah, I think both cameras on tripods. We don't really need camera unit for this. Yeah, I'm pretty cool with this as long as we slide him into frame more. Yeah, this is feeling really nice. It really, all of that starts to melt away.
I don't know if we can get the tripod that close to the wall. I think you might have to come a little closer.
It's hard to tell because Is that monitor rotated? Yeah. These are just like the scenes I thought, like the order of operations we could shoot stuff in. This would be one day, like opening the shop, which would be like that B-roll of him preparing stuff, cleaning stuff.
The idea of it kind of starting that way. I mean, the video might actually start with the interview, but the introduction to the space is Omar going in before hours, getting ready to open up the space.
How did the interview portion go?
Really well. Omar is a natural. Very good and cohesive at speaking and answering questions. And I feel like we got everything we were looking for and more. I think obviously we would do a sit-down interview with the owner and then get B-roll.
You and Carolyn, or you or Carolyn, serving drinks to customers. So we're hoping we could just find people, or like maybe you can have friends come in that we could use as the standing customers. Okay. And that would go back to like this scene that we're talking about, trying to really capture like homey vibe. B-roll or the lifestyle footage can be much more like one-to-one, a lot flatter, like you feel like you're there, part of the experience, like you're sitting there with them.
Right.
They have both have tons of charisma, and like
that's great.
Would be great to just have some clips of them like smiling and like talking to people, and I can see some of it even being in like 60p, so it feels like a little bit more nostalgic.
We might need a gimbal if we want to get some movement in there, but I think a lot of it should be us just finding an angle and then following the action with panning.
Maybe a day where we just we're having some visions for like just some product shots where maybe we could have a couple shots of just like some wine pairings with cheese, like just really nicely laid out.
Like just do it like a charcuterie board or a cheese board or s'mores or something like that.
Maybe 3 different setups. We don't have to show the whole menu, just kind of like a little glimpse into what you can get.
Ready? Go for it. Awesome. I can see a lot of close-up shots of pouring fine wine, or close-ups of a sign or logo.
We obviously want like more of the product and like finished shots of, like you mentioned, wine being poured, or they serve some food. Crispy.
Ooh. Sweet. It's gonna look so good. These lenses are amazing. These are all vintage Olympus lenses that we have adapted to Sony E-mount. So yeah, we're using the 28mm, the 55mm, and the 100mm. And they look amazing, especially with backlight and specular highlights, like in this wine glass right here. Okay.
That's not as bad.
Horizontal, it's not nearly as noticeable.
Yeah, it's kind of matching that other highlight, the sun, that little starburst. Talk to me, Joel.
Okay, so we are doing our last still life setup for this shoot. We are trying to frame up this edge of the counter because we like the natural light. However, the window's really dirty and it's not really adding anything to the frame. So we're trying to use this, I don't know, 10-inch wide countertop as our scene without showing any of the window, which is a little bit challenging, but we're gonna try and figure it out.
Bubble shots.
It's a wrap. It's 10 o'clock.
It's past my bedtime, dude.
I'm glad I finally got a cameo though. I wore all this just to be in it.
Well, hopefully you found this video useful and that there was a piece in there that you could use to apply to your brand story video.
Right, and if you're new to video production, I would definitely recommend giving this type of video a shot. If there's a company that you're interested in and would love to work with, pitch them on the idea of a brand story. If you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe. We make lots of behind-the-scenes videos and walkthroughs of projects that we're doing over here at Ellen Valley.
Yeah, and leave us a comment if you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, or if you just want more details. We'd be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.